like to start with the eyes so that just in case any of these particles fall down on your face, it doesn't ruin your foundation or your face makeup or anything like that. So once it's on your eyes, you can wipe away and then go on, do the rest of your face, and then you're pretty much done. So just to make it super easy and to make it pretty uniform and some people not having too round of eyes or to have their makeup too far out, I'm just going to take a piece of Scotch tape, put it on the back of my hand really quick, rip it off so that it's not as sticky, and then I'm going to line it up with her eyebrow and then tuck it in right underneath her lash line back towards her eyebrow. Sorry, okay. So I'll do that on each side. And then you'll see when I keep going that once I finish with the eye makeup and I take this off, you'll just have a nice, precise line on the side. So I'm going to start with putting a concealer or something on her eyes just so that the product has something to stick to, and it just kind of gives the eyeshadow a little bit of a canvas. So, or even your foundation would work too, depending on what you want to use. I'll find the air conditioning. I just Okay, cool. Yep. So, absolutely. So I put the tape on her eyes to kind of act as a barrier, and it's just gonna, when I take it off, it's gonna create a nice precise line on the edge. I primed her eyes with an eyeshadow. You can use your foundation as well, but it's just so that when you apply your eyeshadow, it has something to stick to, and it'll help it last longer. So that's pretty much the goal here when we're dancing all day long and sweating and nice fun things like that. So now this eyeshadow palette has these 4 colors. We're gonna go lightest to darkest. And so we're gonna start up at her brow bone with the lightest color. And I'm just going to apply that right underneath her eyebrow. And that's gonna act as just a little highlight. And I'm just kind of brushing it down, not getting it too far down because then all of the other makeup goes there.
Would you do eyebrows before you do the shadow, or eyebrows after?
I would. Julia has nice eyebrows, so.
Yes, we know.
But if you do fill in eyebrows, I suggest doing that first, and then this way, when I always do my eyebrows first. This way, when I have it on, I can clean up the eyebrow with the concealer, and then I just bring that concealer down to my eyelid to just prime the rest of the eyelid. So, just putting that right underneath her eyebrow. And now we're gonna go in with, actually we're not gonna go lightest to darkest because this color I wanna save for the lid. So we're gonna go in with this color right here. And that is, we're gonna go in with this color right here, that light brown color. And use a nice little fluffy brush. And this is what's called your transition color. So this is gonna be the color that transitions from your crease to your lid and your brow bone. So I'm just going to go right up against this tape and right in where her crease is, just in circular and windshield wiper motions, go back and forth, and just to blend it out. So I don't want it too high because then it's gonna go over that brow bone, but right in the crease. Just with soft, circular, and windshield wiper motions.
You make that pretty dark.
Not too dark. I like to go over it maybe twice, just so that the product's on there. We do have a darker color to really enhance it, but this is just, it's not supposed to be too dark, it's just to really build out that crease. So I like to start up against the tape so that that's where the most product starts, so that's gonna be darker on the outside than on the inside, because if I start and put my brush in the middle, that's where the most product's gonna come off. So I'm gonna start up against the tape, and again, just in windshield wiper motions and circular motions, go back and forth. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just scream them out and I'll answer.
Could you be at my house at 6 in the morning to do my daughter's makeup?
I'm not here for first comp, but the rest of the comp.
You really not?
No, I'm gonna be away.
How much of that should I put on seed? Because that's like.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. On Sage, I would do maybe a little. I would do a little like darker. I feel like this color, just do an extra like layer or two, and then with the darker color, you can really smoke it out, and it'll be darker for her. But yeah, because these colors are very buildable, so the more you put on, obviously the more it'll show. So then I'm going to take this color right up here, this tan color, and this is what I'm gonna put a nice generous amount on my brush because I want this to really open up the eyes and make the eyes pop. So I'm just gonna swirl it around on my brush. I like to use like a tight haired brush, because if you use a fluffy brush, the product isn't gonna stay as well. So this just concentrates the product closer and onto the lid, and I'm just gonna dab it on. And I'm not gonna go past the crease really, I'm gonna keep it right on the lid. And that's gonna be really your main color. And so I'm gonna just dab it on the whole lid. And now if you find that the product's not showing up or as pigmented as you want it to be, you can just dampen your brush. I'm gonna spray it with a little Fix Plus from MAC, but you can literally run it under water or something, and you spray it and it'll hold the pigments a lot better, and it'll almost, you'll see, it'll just make it pop out a little bit more.
What color are you using right now?
This is this color over here. It's called All That Glitters, but you can't read them.
Okay.
There's nothing that says
So
what
you're
it is.
doing that
So
twice.
I like to go in twice just because I want this to be your main color. Like this is gonna be the color that really stands out. The other ones are just to kind of create dimension within your eye. So I'm just gonna go back in on the other side. And just, I like to use dabbing motions, because if I use wiping motions, then the product's just gonna go all over the place, or it's not gonna stay as, it's not gonna stand out as much. So when you dab it on, it just really concentrates in that area. And you can bring it to the inner part of the eye as well. And that's really gonna open the eye if you put it right in that little crevice right there. And now I'm gonna take a nice small brush, not too fluffy. And now we're just gonna use this darker color right here. It's the darkest color. And this is where you're gonna get your smoky eye from. So you're just gonna literally go, just trying to hit that way so you can see. I'm gonna go right up against the line and in towards the crease. I don't wanna go too high up because then that's when you get those raccoon type eyes. So if you just go right up against the tape and in towards the crease, and then just blend it out a little bit. And to blend, I just like to use tiny little circular motions just because you don't want these stripes on your eyes or anything like that. So just small little circular motions right into the crease. I would say keep it on the outer third of your eyelid, because if you get too far in, then it starts to close your eyes. So you want to keep your eyes wide-eyed, especially on that stage. So
What kind of brush are you using?
it's just a small, I guess you can consider it a pencil type brush. This doesn't say exactly what type of brush it is, but I can actually pass it around after I'm done with this part if you guys want to see. And I'm just gonna go in, do the exact same thing on the other side. So right against her lash line of the tape and in towards the crease, and just in little circular motions, blend. Alright, cool. And now, the thing that I like about the tape as well is that you can also apply your eyeliner while that's on, so that you get a nice edge on your eyeliner and that we don't have people with just liner all over their face. I know it took me a couple years to figure out how exactly to do my eyeliner, so this makes it a little easier. Oh, okay. So my personal preference is just a gel liner. I feel, and I use where's the brush I use? I'll just use a regular angled brush, but I feel like the gel liner is easier to use. Sometimes when you go in with the liquid liners, I find that the brushes sometimes are a little longer and harder to just get that precise line, or if you have a slight like move of your hand, then you have it all over your eye. So I feel like the short-haired little angle brushes and the gel liner is just really easy to apply, and it just goes, it kind of glides right on. You don't have to worry about too much. So this is just Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Blackest Black Eye Studio Gel Liner. So then when she closes her eyes, I want to try to get, at first, as close to her lash line as possible. And I'm just going to bring it back towards that tape. Sorry, I don't want to be in front of everybody, so I'm just going to, yeah, turn her eye. So I like to start from the middle and then go out, just because that's gonna be my, I guess, thickest part of my eyeliner. The inner part I don't want to be too thick, so I feel like when I put my brush down, I can use it as a gauge whether or not I want it to be thicker on the edge or thinner on the inside. But if I initially put it to the inside of her eye, then I'm stuck with that and I have to just commit to it and go all the way to the end. So I start from the middle and go out towards the end. And the good thing about the tape is it's right there, you can go right over it. And then I'm just going to bring it in to her inner lash line, or her inner eyelid, and just really tuck it into her lashes. And to get that inner part, flip up over here. I'm just gonna go right in. This isn't too important,